Hola, ¿cómo estás? How's everybody doing? Oh, nobody's in here. Half the fucking time when I start these streams, there'll be 30 people in here before I'm even on. I don't even know how it's possible. It's baffled me. It's baffled me for ages. What's up, Luke? Luke, where are you at that you're up so late? Are you in a foreign country? Hey, what's up? Cigars are fantastic, dude. I don't know if that endo, really. They're okay. Teach their own. How you guys doing? Howdy. Howdy. Always in the West. You're just up like me, I guess, huh? Luke, it's almost 11 where you're at. Call my mom. Look what I got, bros. Oh. I'm playing around with a little bit of that. Those over there winking at me. 12:48 a.m. here. Chinese spy. Whoa, just got pea shivers. Howdy. Dude, I'm pretty excited about something. I'm not excited about how much work I have all the time because I'm just a fucking wreck, man. I can't wait until the Lord takes me. Hopefully sends me back to the, well, I want to go back to Einsof. You know, before it's all made and just fucking wispy away. No more sadness. So I invented a hand grenade out of shit that everybody can buy, and it's better than an M67 frag. I think I haven't calculated the cost. I think it's about $25, not including your load, whatever your payload is. Huh? Einzelf is nothing. That's just what you think. It's everything. Any Teflon updates? Yeah. What do you want? What do you want to know? Teflon's PTFE. So I'm also working on. So there's if I use other derivatives, there's PVDF, which is not common. Because of the commonality, I really want to stick to PTFE. There's also a oh, what the hell? Why can't I think of it? TVE. I can't remember the compound name, so I'm mixing up the acronym. TVE. That's gonna drive me insane now. There's another one. There's another compound that is super fucking interesting. It's actually photoactive, so you can detonate it with a camera flash, which is fucking crazy. There's there also, so the PTF, both the PTFE, particularly the PVDF, is it's piezoelectric, meaning that it reacts to stimulation. Like if you pull it like a battery, you run current through it. And I got hair. Sorry, I got hair in my nostril and it's tickling the inside of my nose, like one side of it to the other. If you pull the PVDF, you can actually control the sensitivity of detonation, which is really cool because you can make it like you can make it desensitized in normal conditions, and then you could have like, let's say, so normally, let's say if you were gonna there's different ways that you can detonate explosive materials, right? Reactive materials are, that's a different story than like an energetic material. Reactive material is stuff that is generally considered inert, like PTFE. the Now to detonate it, you have to have very, it's got to be like specific circumstances, right? But you can, one of the ways that you can do it that's really interesting is that you can run current through it, and then it fucking changes the sensitivity. So like if you made, if you can imagine designing some kind of munition where you have a electrical current going through it at a time of your choosing, then you can control the sensitivity. So you could theoretically have it like smack shit, and not blow up or whatever, and then have it blow up. I mean, there's just really interesting stuff that normal energetic materials don't do. It's very interesting. The photosensitivity is pretty weird. There's some other stuff. I know that like nitroglycerin is UV sensitive, but nitroglycerin is just crazy. Yeah, nitroglycerin is the ultimate god demo. It's just kills everybody in the room. Like just a fucking uncontrollable beast. So much more. It's more wicked than Mother Satan. Mother Satan's more sensitive, but nitroglycerin just has all these crazy properties with viscosity and just, oh man, it's just nuts. It's just this like, I mean, people have been attracted to it over, it's the first high explosive that was ever discovered. Nobel. So the Nobel Prize, the guy that's Nobel Prize, he discovered nitroglycerin. And then he fucked around with it forever until he came up with commercial dynamite. And that was like the whole, like he wouldn't fuck around with anything else. He just kept on fucking around with fucking nitroglycerin primarily until he got dynamite. And he's like, yes, money. The nitroglycerin was so, I mean, I think fucking Nobel, if I remember correctly, I think he got his whole family in on it, I think his brother died in a fucking nitroglycerin explosion, like experimenting with it. He killed his brother. I mean, he didn't kill him. His brother killed himself, probably. Yeah. So David said it would be cool if you could come up with simple detonators you could garage build. David, I'm already working on all this stuff. I gotta be careful. I gotta be really careful because I've got some stuff that I want. Okay, I'll tell it to you like this. I am a shithouse. Okay, I would like to pretty much make it so that with like $50, you could make fucking like military grade ordnance in the comfort of your home for strengthening your defenses for your family. My philosophical concept is that every family is a nation and a castle, and the modern state is pretty much in the opposite recognition of that. So because they're going to try to push our shit in, I think it'd be, I don't really care who you are. It doesn't really matter. We probably wouldn't get along anyway, but I want to help you be super fucking deadly, but in a smart way, like in a really fucking effective way. And that's like all this demo shit. So you want me to make detonators? Well, I'm fucking here. Let me just bring out a little fucking box over. Of course, I'm not prepared. Unfortunately, I'm not prepared. I really just want to come out here and drink wine out in the garage. I'm sick of reading about chemical. I've been reading chemical compounds for like, I don't know, some pages in the last like week. Lots of fucking patents. Lots of patents. That is an ignition coil from I think that's from our Ford Focus. I'm not sure. I got that really cheap off of Some guy. So one of the so this is nichrome wire. Okay, nichrome. We've got a 40 gauge and a 36 gauge. They're very, 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 very small. So like 36 gauge is like, and these are fucking. This is like hair. It's like hair that is, you know, it's a nickel chromium. They have different types. The type that you want is 80. 80 would be like a nichrome 80. Nichrome 80. That's really what you want. It's got really good. Its impedance is good. It's the gauge doesn't really matter. You really want it as thin as possible, but it's very useful for a lot of stuff, and it goes a long ways. So I'm currently working on a detonator that looks like that uses components that are not considered like restricted as of now. They will be probably when I get done with the video. So essentially this is an SMA. This is an SMA connector on the, where's the fucking camera at? On the front side, you can't see that. How do I get the camera to look at the SMA? Can you see that in the camera? That is an SMA. Let me try to touch the screen, maybe. You can't even focus that close? Stupid. Okay. That is an SMA on one side. The other side of this is a BNC. BNC is that is like a radio antenna. So the cool thing about this is that because of the SMA in particular, because of the distance from your core of your coax hole to the edge of your return, that distance, when you use a nichrome wire that's insulated, and then you pack this bitch with material, you're actually making a cap, and then you can use all kinds of different attachments to it. Everything from like these are what the hell do they call these? These are this is like a stainless steel tube. These are just stainless steel capillary tubes, right? Stainless steel capillary. This is like a cheap aluminum tube. You can run those into these. You can charge them for additional payload for whatever you want to do. But what's really fucking cool about them is that once you build these, they're built, and then you can, you'd hook up your coax. You're gonna get some RG6 or some RG59. Doesn't really matter. You want a lot of it. This is for like testing, right? I mean, you can do command detonation with it if you have to. In a technical situation, what you really want to do is you really want to do remote, or like in some instances you do want to do command out so that it can't be jammed. But remote's good for like general purpose unless you're going. You're pretty much remote. Remote detonation is good unless you're dealing with like advanced mechanized divisions and stuff. Like Chinese mechanized divisions are going to have all kinds of signal jamming shit, and so you're going to want something to bypass that. It's not going to be RF sensitive. But anyway, you can just you have your. What's cool about it, if you do a VNC drum on the back with the SMA in the front, then you can put your charge in the front, and then you just have your wire, and you just fucking like whoop, whoop, and then you're fucking connected, like just fucking connected. You know what I mean? So it's cool as shit. So I'm working on it. I don't want to release too much because there's a very good possibility that once I release it and like put the whole picture together, of everything. Uh, everybody's gonna be like, holy fuck, everybody has fucking highly advanced hand grenades now, or whatever. I mean, what I really want to do is just do a rocket launcher so that you can do a rocket and anti-air to knock out a aircraft. The rocket launcher would be for groundwork. The anti-aircraft is something different. Um, Yeah, well, I'll put it as a video on construction, like demonstration, and then a PDF. But I kind of have to do it all in one shot. It's a good chance that the government will just like arrest me afterwards. And I'll go to jail. So, but once they release it and it gets out, then it's like I mean, every American's gonna have it. Like it's I'm gonna make it so that it's you'll be able to do it. I mean, if you're competent, you know. I can't tell you that you're not, retarded or something, and that you won't like kill yourself. There's nothing I can do about that. But it's not going to be like unreasonably unsafe or anything like that. No, you should just give it to everybody. Give the information to everybody. There's no. What it does more than anything in the interim is just forces a reevaluation of like tactic for the enemy in terms of like crushing you, because you're getting moved on right now. They're fixing to move right now, and their tech is so much more than what. I mean, they have the shit that is out there that could be and certainly will be brought against you. When this thing goes bad is man. I mean, if you're like one of those kind of guys that like can't see past technology, like can't see the strength of like the heart and the human will, you're gonna be fucking intimidating because the stuff that's coming, the stuff that is out there that's not like publicly. I mean, it's publicly. I mean, there's stuff that's publicly known that's like published in patents and stuff like DOE patents, but the public doesn't know about it because they're not like advertising or anything. Man, that's fucking insane. I mean, you're talking like laser spectrometry, laser remote spectrometry, where you're like fucking shooting fucking lasers that are giving like multi-layered visual data. So seeing like anything on your person, seeing through your fucking walls, like all kinds of shit. They have fucking multiple ways to see through walls. They've got um, electromagnetic shit, like weaponized electromagnetic shit for handheld. They've got fucking um, like elemental detection stuff that can just detect anything. So like it doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's, and there's shit that's like it could just detect gunpowder, like within the oxygen environment, like an oxygenated environment of a volume of space. It'll detect anything. So it's like they have stuff that'll um, like they've been working on a lot of stuff for like finding caches and stuff in the ground. I mean, I'm telling you, like it's gonna be fucking crazy. The only thing that they don't have on their side is fire. Oh. What are you guys talking about? I don't like this. I gotta sit off to the side or something. Just look at that. Look at that cola over there. Getting camera shot. They don't have the tism. I don't even know what that means, dude. You're too smart for me. Fuck's sake. This fucking battery. Alright. Why the title Fudge? I don't know. Why not? I gotta get a fucking charger. Hang on. Fuck. Fucking battery sucks. Gay Earth. That's what I would have named it if it was up to me. Every reference in every book. It would be like, and then other mankind on Gay Earth, this happened. So it's just how I would have done it. Oh. Oh yeah, the phone's right here. I was looking for the phone in my pocket. Oh man. Oh, Anthony, I know you're a friend. He's my friend too. That's why I named the video Fudge. You gonna fucking charge or what? Alright. I'm not touching you. And I'm back. Wow. Apparently phone charge is just like, yeah, just fucking with you, man. I'm not even charging. I'm not even charging. Fooled you. I was kind of hoping that it was going to be a lock stream so I could make a new one and put a picture of Earth on there and call the stream Gay Earth. Shit. Someone wants to see the dill stick. I don't know what that means. Oh, kill stick. Okay. All right. This one. This is... Now I'm kidding. I think I got that comp. I think I got that comp in 2000 maybe 2008, 2009. It's been on a bunch of barrels. I'm 100% sure that somehow that I don't know if this particular one, and we're dealing with some kind of metaphysics thing here that is singular, or if it's like within the design. Because as far as I know, the Nordic Components Corvette is not a popular comp. I got it for like, you know, back in the day shooting like 3-gun, right? Like when 3-gun got big, I was shooting 3-gun. I got it for that. The Corvette has been on a bunch of barrels, and I used to put it on like you know, like light precision rifles, basically, you know, like 5.56, 18 inches and stuff. Now I put it on like 14.5s and stuff. It fucking brings my groups in like fucking that, man, at like extreme range. I don't know what it is, and my gun doesn't fucking move. I don't know what it is, but it is better. You know, it improves my SD. I think I'm pretty sure it like is somehow constricting my SD strings, like with various types of ammo and different barrels. That's what I think. I don't think it's making it more accurate. I think that it's just somehow it's homogenizing the gas that's coming out, so that you can put anything in there and you're firing, and then your effect is that you're, you know, wherever you're shooting, it's going to stay more consistent to where you're shooting. Like if you put in a different ammo and it shoots to a different spot, it doesn't matter because every round's going to be the same spot, you know. I shot my last deer that I took. I like walked outside, and it was standing out there, probably like 250 yards, and then I just like raised the rifle with a dot. It's like raised rifle, fucking like impact right here. You know what I mean? It's just fucking, it's right here. You know what I mean? It's just fucking, it's so tight, man. Like from the shoulder, not even, you know, just like a straight back press. I mean, that doesn't really matter because it's not like it wasn't like a semi-automatic thing, but everything is just it's so fucking consistent. Wicked tuna. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means, but I do. I kind of like tuna. I like salmon. My favorite is salmon and trout and cat. Salmon, trout, and cat. That's. Yeah. Happy Hanukkah. Yeah, I know you're silly. You're silly. Talk about the vaccine. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we should talk about vaccine. I don't know what the update on it is on now because at this point, like I'm not really keeping up because I'm just pretty much like uh, you know trying to uh, like move forward beyond being on the fishing line. I'm trying to get up to like living. I'm trying to live like my last moments, before this thing gets bad, and like gonna be getting my shit ready. We're gonna have to start. I'm gonna be insulating this motherfucker. I can fucking squat like a madman this winter, and we're gonna start pumping again and getting fucking strong. We're gonna be doing sprints and doing a lot of squats. Yeah, I know. I'll probably do some winter fishing in the pond. For after the ball drops. The ball's gonna drop. The ball's gonna drop. That's actually kind of the good part because then it's like, all these fucking people that are just like, well, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna wake up anyway. It's just, it'll be nice to get some fucking like pressure relief off of me where I can be like, okay, I don't have to pretend to be a normal person anymore and just like, you know, stop worrying about all this needless bullshit. I mean, seriously, like, like my day, like this is what I did today. Okay, what did I do today? I, uh, I fixed a residential water line or checked on it. I didn't fix it. I checked on it. I didn't need fixing. I took a residential water line. I changed a fucking tire off of a backhoe, like out in the rain in the mud. Fucking uh, what the fuck else did I do? It was fucking busy, man. I did a bunch of shit. I can't even remember. It just all blends together. That's kind of the point. That's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. It's like I'm doing all this shit, right? All of it, all the work that we're doing, filling a giant fucking hole full of fucking rock, like a fucking empty hole in a street, filling it full of rock. So people want to drive into a hole, like explode their tires or whatever they're gonna do. Smash into a tree, like fly off the road, like smashing into a tree. I mean, who knows? Only the Lord knows. The all this shit, that you know, going to do this work and stuff all day. It's like, it's ultimately for. It's ultimately just to fucking put a patch on it so that everybody else can go do their job, which is the exact same thing, no matter what it is. It's the exact same thing. They're just like they're just running. They're just like running on fumes in their own little way, putting one foot in front of the other, thinking that they're getting somewhere, scrambling to try to meet their own version of ends meet wherever that is, no matter how far up the totem pole they are, and they don't have any escape. Like there's no option, right? Like your options are limited, and that's everybody's experience, and it's just the whole thing is just to hold up this entire charade that is somehow, I don't know how. What's really surprised, I guess, what's incredible to me is that people can be so fooled and are fooled enough to be able to like manifest and waste their energy in defending it, you know Like people can mistake their need for like whatever it is that they have to do in subservience. They mistake that for like that it's the right thing to do and it's important because it's what they need. And so they think like, well, society needs to function this way, and then they invest a lot of energy into defending it without considering what the foundation is. And then at the same time, in doing so, it forcibly like it kind of unless you're like a psychopath, it forces you to just like I am dissolving all the thoughts of all the bad things that are happening all around me that are terrible. Like this world is not the way that nobody would design the world to be this way. No person. I mean, maybe someone would design. Maybe as soon as like you can just make the world however you want. Maybe they'd be like, okay, I get everything. But in terms of like the practicality of it, if they weren't like trying to be at the center of the apex, like no, like not a single regular person would design the world to function the way that it is. Like it requires somebody that it requires people that are extremely gifted to do to design this fucking thing the way it is. And it's just, man, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating, especially because all the gifts that the creator gives us are just fucking like, meh, meh, meh. Like I sat around with my son tonight when I got home and we sat in front of a fire and just ate nuts, like from a tree. We just had nuts. They're cured by now. We cracked them open. We sat there for like an hour eating nuts, And my son was learning about the difference between the shell of the nut and the meat of the nut, figuring that out. And then he was figuring out how to feed the dog with the nuts because the dogs like nuts too, So it's just, like all this is just free, and it's the best way to. I mean, I can't even like we don't have a television. Or I mean, I do have a television. It's been wrapped in a blanket for probably like 10 years. We still every time we move, we're like lugging it around because we bought it in the first place. So like we're lugging around this like early 2000 flat screen TV, from like back in the fucking barracks days. But we don't watch TV or anything, and it's like I mean. The like everything that's worthwhile and that will sustain us is already provided, and we've all been manipulated out of being able to even possess it. And it's just incredible to me how humanity can be at all. I mean, I suppose the answer of how humanity can be content or like have the illusion of being content is that they redirect all of their energy of anger towards each other. You know what I mean? And they're like, okay, now I'm good. Like now I can keep on doing my slave work. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. I mean, there's literally like everything that you need, like heat, your heat, your water, your food, your I mean, that's like your primary right there. Shelter, it's all provided for you. You had to lose it by having people take it over and fucking like dictate everything and make. I mean, there's like rules that don't even make sense. They're just like, oh, we're gonna have money, and now you like, now you buy property. Like now you owe us every year. You got to pay us a little bit to live on the land that we didn't make. But all he's telling me is chill. Sorry. Am I getting too intense or what? I was like, bro, chill, bro. No, I've never pickled walnuts. My walnuts are still good though. Like they keep. Oh, okay. Or is Legend asking for the song or something? I haven't even sat down at the computer. Like you're gonna like Dude, a fucking album, you know what I mean? Like an album or just like songs in general, they take like dozens of hours. You know how much time I have? I have about like 2 hours every 2 weeks, maybe. And they probably take like, I mean, an album probably takes like several hundred hours. Well, there's 52 weeks in the year. I give it about 2 hours a week. So you're just gonna have to fucking chill out. Like I'm not going up there. All right. I'm simply pouring this alcohol that was made, not by me, onto my bread. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to the computer right now. Well, like a lot of the like a lot of nut trees are biennial, depending on their nutrient content. So like if you have like in the wild like lots of wild nut trees, natural nut trees, they're not going to have like optimized nutrient content in most cases unless it's like old forest. They're not going to have optimized, and so they're gonna really fruit hard every other year. If you get high concentration of them in an area, like hundreds and hundreds of fruit trees in an area, wild, around here you really only see that with black walnut. But you will get like sometimes you'll get splits where you'll have like a swath of land will or like a patch of trees will be biennial 1 year, and another patch or like interspersed through them will be like offset on years. Dehydrated wild plums. Yeah, wild plums are pretty intense. You can eat them. They're mostly generally thought of as for animals to eat. You can eat wild plums. Yeah, I'm gonna do the beets. I just need, like there's things standing in my way and I can't force it. Like I can't go and like hammer out like the what I want to hammer out after like a hard day. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work like that. It has to be like, I mean, I'm literally giving my best hours, you guys. The hours that I could like my best and brightest are being spent like trudging away in like mud, and fucking gravel for people that don't care. That's what, you know. I mean, that's the world that's made. You know, it's just the way it is. So it's got to be, I got to work with what I got. I'll get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I can't. I'm close. I'm gonna start releasing them. Okay. I'll try to work on something this week. I'll try to work on a song this weekend. I think I'll just release them without music videos at first, just to try to get them out, and then go from there. Like if I can make, they really need music videos. Pineapples grow on the ground. Yeah, pineapples are kind of inefficient though. Yeah, Ollie's got the hookup. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you have a place with mature trees, you're very lucky. It could be everywhere. That's what's amazing. That's what's amazing about society. It's like just imagine all the bullshit and lies that these fake fucking leaders that uh, are prying your energy from you for generation after generation, and how they use it for unrighteous and untrue things. Like all they have to do is just think for a little bit about truth and just pursue it, and then they'll please everyone. It doesn't even have to be anything profound. It could be literally anything, and if it's not manipulative, and if it's truth, like if they find the base of truth, if they work it backwards in their conception, like the conception of thought, everyone would be satisfied. Even the people that didn't even know they were satisfied, like once they considered it and saw whatever it is, whatever initiative the public servant was going to do, then they would be satisfied, right? And they don't do that. It's just continual distortion and lies, uh, coercion, interest, and manipulation. And out of all of that time, all those dollars and generations and speeches and shit that never happened, like the wording in all wars that was not at all the last war. After all this shit, it's like the people, all this technology, like you can fucking, I mean, there was some video that popped up in this video feed when I was like trying to make this get on here for the live stream. It was so gay. It's like it was like, Alexa, I need guns, and it's like this fucking like cabinet opens. Like now when you scroll through YouTube, it just starts auto playing. So it's like I'm like scrolling down, it's like Alexa, I need guns. So I'm not like obviously I'm not clicking on that, but it's like playing while I'm scrolling. I'm like what the fuck is this? And then it's fucking like the cabinet opens. You got Alexa guns, yet no one has just put like free food everywhere. I mean you've been here this entire like humanity has been here this entire time. You haven't even managed to do that. Like nobody could just stop for 10 years, this entire time that humanity's been here. I mean, you wouldn't even need everybody involved. You just need a core group of dedicated people that have access to resources. Just be like, all right, hang on. I know that we're all gonna like fucking eviscerate each other and fucking shitting in each other's mouths. But how about we just pause it for 10 minutes? Let's put in all these fucking let's just put in all these like regenerative food resources for people and just get it up, and then we can go back to cutting each other's dicks off or whatever it is that we're doing. I mean, it's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? It's so fucking ridiculous. I mean, seriously, like think about it, Like think about like what could be more important or better than something like that, or like water, like how fucked up. They've been doing these centralized aquifers for like water since the fucking Egyptians. What the fuck is wrong with people? So dumb. It's so dumb. They made all this technology, and all it is just for squeezing further control. Like there's no interest in freeing anyone. It doesn't even cross anyone's mind. It's like how can I get this slave to suck my dick today? You'll surely be destroyed. I promise you that with a vengeance. Yes, they did. Yes, the Romans did have aqueducts. That's true. So did the Greeks. I don't know anything. What are you talking about? Okay, so we wanted to talk about vaccine. What do you guys want to talk about for the vaccine? Somebody said God wins in the end. It's true. He's winning now. You're gonna continue to win. What do you guys want to talk about? What do you want to talk about vaccines? Somebody's asking about vaccines. I got distracted. Got on a tangent. The vaccine is causing positive AIDS tests. Is that a joke or what? ATF rated poly 80? Are you kidding me? ATF wants to get a militia raid through their shit. Are you guys gonna go into West Virginia or what? If you guys don't fuck whatever it is you're doing, like I don't know what people are planning on doing. I know that there's gonna be fighting. Like you better fucking I mean, if you ever fucking have one of those come and take it stickers, like the cannons on it and shit, like you better be rolling through West Virginia. I'm just saying. East Coast needs a fucking enema. hard. And fucking whatever the fucking like reverse vacuum tube with the fluid that they stick up your ass for doctor stuff that old people get. Lava Emma. Yeah, seriously. The number one weapon in well, see, this is how it's going to be, right? So in the conflict, like whatever it is, right? Because who knows how it's going to open up? It's going to open up. If you have any element of autonomy in like people fight, like if there's actually people raiding other locations, they're going inevitably, just like evolution, right? Like evolution, how it's similar to what I'm describing is in the sense of like what works and what doesn't work, and what's effective is shown to be effective and what is not effective. You know, like people don't come up with like the generals and the tactical the fucking think tanks and shit and the fucking like Lockheed Martins and shit. They spend all this time and all this money doing all these things, and it's like they obviously like they don't have a Murphy's Law calendar up on their wall, you know, a Murphy's Law list or anything. They're just wholly unfamiliar with that. The like the things that actually work just manifest out of necessity being the mother of invention. And so you know, like the number one weapon of any kind of like desperate attempt to take down a greater enemy is fire. Like fire is the you know, but what's going to happen is once fighting starts, right? You're gonna have an evolutionary process, like regardless of who. It doesn't matter who it is, right? Like it doesn't matter if we're just talking about anybody fighting for their life, like fighting existentially. You're going to figure out that, like in the precipitation of, you know, warfare, whatever it looks like, you're going to figure out that like when there is power and communication, your enemy has an advantage over you. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have more losses. They're gonna fucking like figure out whatever it is that you're doing and hit you by surprise and shit. And then slowly is what it's going to cause, right? Like what they're thinking, they set up this surveillance apparatus that's just fucking like full spectrum. And then like the result of it is going to be that like anybody that survives the initial conflicts and stuff and is still operating and like survives that is going to evolve into, it's going to be like absolute destruction. So they're just gonna be like, okay, we're going to this town, we're raiding this town. Okay, that means like we're gonna fucking cut their water, cut their power, destroy all their communications, blow up their fucking highways. We're gonna shoot fucking planes out of the sky. Like that's how it's gonna be. They're gonna figure out that's like the way to do it. You know, so it's just fucking like woods, fucking soot. Because that's how it's work to like level the advantage. And then they're going to figure out like, oh, they've got satellites in the sky. Like, well, let's go kill all the people that are monitoring those and fucking destroy their reception stations. Like, that's how it's going to work. And then all the people manning all this shit in the state think that they're just like, like they're never going to do that. I'm telling you, man. There's going to be raids. I would go so far as to predict. I would predict just on logic. This isn't like, you know, I don't know for sure. Who knows what's going to happen? I would predict that you're going to have American raids into Switzerland to kill the fucking bankers. That's what I'm going to guess. Like once the U.S. government like pees their pants and fucking collapses, and then all your shit gets like, you know, fucking handed out, and we're over here the Americans are making fucking gay ass CIA ISIS look like fucking Fisher Prices. They're gonna be like hopping on your shit and like flying out, going over to Switzerland to their fucking hideouts and stuff and dragging them out and shooting them in the head like fucking they did to the Japs. That's how it's gonna be. I'm telling you, keep fucking doubling down. Keep fucking doubling down. Following evil. I'm not saying that violence is right. I don't think the violence is going to be right. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's like a good thing. I'm saying that's what's going to occur, or an equivalent. It's going to be pretty intense. I've got a good buddy, and he always told me, and he's not. We don't talk about this kind of stuff, but he was like, he told me, he was like, well, that like the way, like your gauge of how you know when things are getting really serious is when you start hearing rumors about people getting their dicks cut off. And like, I was like, but then I thought about it, and then it's completely true. Like when you have a conflict and people start cutting off each other's dicks, that's when you know that like you're in the shit. For like no reason. It's like conflict could be whatever, and then people are just so pissed off, like they're gonna get to the point where they're like cutting off each other's dicks. I mean, it happens all the time. Like cartels, like cartel warfare, they cut off each other's dicks. Revolutionary War, they're cutting off people's dicks. Vietnam, they're cutting off dicks. Like World War II, cutting off dicks. That's how it fucking works, man. Get your fucking dicks cut off. Hippies were CIA assets. Yeah, no shit. I mean, they're not literally CIA. They're not like walking over this. I mean, there are some people that are leading the hippies that are directly interfacing with the CIA. I mean, you had like JFK got shot. JFK got shot. The FBI report got released, by the way, a few years ago. And JFK got shot in the. I mean, he had a round in the front of the neck, like from the front of the car. It's in the fucking FBI report. The JFK got shot, and then LBJ, along with the NRA, like rolled out 68 GCA. I mean, it was like how the Sandy Hook legislation came out, and they tried to roll that after Sandy Hook. It's like the same thing. Like they already had it prepped. They're just like, whoa, no gun control. We never could have seen this coming. We had no idea. We have to get this under control now. Your irresponsibility could get people hurt. We killed your president. What is this? What does this guy say? This guy says the truth is that LBJ had him shot because he wanted power, not because JFK was some hero of the working class. No, that's not true. So LBJ is a big fat pussy, number one. And he's not running shit. He didn't tell anybody to shoot JFK. JFK got shot. The reason that JFK got shot is because JFK and his father, the senior, they were onto the cabal, and JFK knew about it, and it was like a continual fucking. It was basically a continual problem in his presidency, because basically it was like JFK understood what was going on because of advisory from Benjamin Franklin, who was on the finance committee of Woodrow Wilson prior to World War One, and was in on it. So so Benjamin Franklin was this Jew that was on the finance committee for electing Wilson, which would have been through like the Schiff family and shit like that. And the finance committee had Rawls, who is the first what do you call it, governor of the Federal Reserve in St. Louis, Missouri. He was on there with Henry Morgenthau. Right? Henry Morgenthau, that would be like Armenian genocide, Henry Morgenthau, and a bunch of other like origin cats that really fucked the United States good. Like really, really fucking stab in the back motherfuckers. Um, so anyway, Ben Friedman pretty much at some point had a change of heart, and then he just started advising every president. He would try to get into every presidential office from the time of being in Woodrow Wilson up until JFK. JFK would have been the last one. He gave up after JFK because JFK got assassinated. So he was going in there and telling JFK the entire story back to fucking Woodrow Wilson. Every president. Some of them in between were like fully in on it, and so they just didn't even. They're just like, yeah. The JFK was not in on it. I'm saying that JFK like was, you know, fucking smart or anything like that. He's just, you know, he's who he is. The his dad. So Ben Friedman knew Senior, John Senior, and advised him in a lot of different capacities. And then when JFK got in, he started advising him, both him and his brother. And it informed JFK's perspective. And JFK, just like all these fucking lost souls that are watching this and are just like, I don't know what's going on. This is so crazy. This fucking guy on the end of his ropes, like saying this crazy shit on YouTube. Like, I don't know if I can trust it. I think I need some faggot in a suit that's more expensive than anything that's practical. That is just an entire waste of energy and the amount of money that it would cost to buy a suit. I need somebody with wearing one of those to tell me what to think. I just don't know if I can like really trust this guy, but I'm still watching. That's like how JFK was. But the shit that Ben Friedman would tell him would line up. So it's like a possible, you know, Ben Friedman would tell him these background stories that would be the Rosetta Stone that would fill in the blanks. And then JFK would like see the shit unfolding in real time. And he'd be like, well, wait, what if that's what's really going on? And then he would be like, okay, if that's what's going on, then if I do this, it'll have this effect. And so he started like maneuvering. That would be like him trying to pull out of Vietnam, shit like that, because they were setting us up for Vietnam. JFK was trying to pull us out of Vietnam. JFK had the Bay of Pigs incident with fucking CIA. I mean, it's just, they were trying to run a train on his administration. And then because, like a normal president, if somebody doesn't know, well, most of your politicians are just like psychopaths. So they're just entirely focused on themselves the entire time and what their benefit is going to be, like their long-term benefit and maximum capital gain. And that's it. And so that like completely obfuscates, like they never even get to the stratosphere of like thinking about like what they're doing to people or humanity, or like what the long-term effect is. And it prevents it retards their ability to like judge, you know what I mean? So they're just constantly in the moment. And most of your politicians are like that. The JFK is like an example of somebody that had like whatever he was and whatever kind of like, you know, obviously like JFK and RFK had like, you know, they like believed in gun control and shit like that, right? Like, so it's not like, you know, we're not talking about perfect people here. We're just talking about human beings, and they had the courage enough to like JFK mostly more than RFK. JFK had the courage to like see what his eyes are seeing and match it to his mind and be like, I'm trying to figure this out and I think I need to do this. And then he started like bucking the system. That's why he got fucking killed. He got killed because he tried to fucking he tried to stop the Vietnam War. That's why he got killed. If you want like the big picture, it was like he tried to stop the Vietnam War, and the people that are doing the Vietnam War were like, why is he trying to stop the Vietnam War? And they're like, Ben Friedman's in that bitch, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna kill JFK then. Like that's what happened. You know what I mean? After that, things got a little bit more under control. What was Operation Northwoods? They so you had Mac the military command Vietnam, right? For special forces training, like running a proxy war against Russia. So if you don't understand this, so what was going on? Like the bankers were like built Russia, and then they funded Russia and brought in U.S. equipment. So like all of Russia's manufacturing equipment came from the UK and the United States for like their war industry. They didn't originate. They had American equipment in a lot of cases for making like their gas engines, for making their fucking like MIRV missiles and shit. Like in the 1960s, like guided missiles used like MIRV technology. It's like a type of guidance system, like a guidance protocol, like mechanical guidance protocol. So like the components for that, like MIRV, it's all from the United States. So like this comes. I mean, this goes all the way to like Rosenberg's, a bunch of Jews getting caught at Los Alamos, transferring nuke seekers to Russia, right? So you have Russia is a host nation, USA is a host nation. Russia gets built up into a threat to throw up against USA, right? It's admin is doing both sides, right? That's what's going on. If you didn't know this, so Vietnam's no different. So like in Vietnam, you're fighting fucking like VC with, Russian produced technical vehicles with engines like gas engines built by fucking U.S. equipment. This is how it works. Now, JFK, try like MacV particularly had like one huge fucking battle in the beginning, in like I don't know, 1965 maybe, something like that, where like they had heavy losses accidentally. Like it was just they got like a huge Viet Cong raid and like killed a shitload of the fucking Vietnamese guys that they were training, and then killed a bunch of fucking advisors. And then because of that, like JFK was like, oh, there we go. There's the opportunity. Like we're getting the fuck out of Vietnam. And then JFK went on to Walter Cronkite's program, and he told him like, we're leaving Vietnam. It's not our business being there. And then he gets killed a couple of years later. I mean, it was a build up process, but he ends up getting shot. Like he was trying to buck. He was trying to opt out of a system that you can't opt out, especially as the president. And if he does it, JFK was also doing stuff. JFK implemented a national fucking exercise program for all of the schools. So like, and it was probably one of the most effective that's ever been done in the history of the United States. So he had like a physical education program derived from like Olympic training that he put like federal funding into it to go everywhere. One of the biggest like recipients of that was like California, the state of California. The state of California had like a shitload of fucking, fucking collegiate level athletes in their school system and shit because of this PE program that JFK put out. Well, obviously the people that are like running the world, what they really wanted was like for everybody to be fucking like addicted to porn and like, fucking brain dead and shit. So they definitely didn't want anybody like doing a fucking, the most aggressive fucking physical education program in human history. And so they fucking, the whole thing just like added up, and they're like, wait, what is JFK doing? Like, no, we're gonna fucking shoot him with a Carcano rifle. That's what happened. Also, by the way, filmed by Abraham Zapruder, just so happens to be standing on a step to film the motherfucker. I mean, fuck, man. Americans are retarded. I'll just say it right there. I mean, it's true. It's true. Like, it's harsh. It's harsh, but it's like, at some point, like, if you don't even pack the gear to detect, like, malfeasance and, like, murder and shit like that, like, what good are you? Like, what is your ethic? If you can't even detect it, like, if you can't even, like, what is the probability of that? You know how fucking low that is? Abraham Zapruder sold the Zapruder film within 24 hours to I think it's a Time magazine, I think, for like a lot of money. You know that? Right, on the same day, like within 24 hours, I think, had like negotiated a sale of the video of JFK getting shot. Never fucking lose the capitalization of an event, I guess, right? I don't know anything about military trained serial killers. I don't know shit about that. I can tell you that the military trains fucking like indigenous people to fucking murder each other. I can tell you that. It's pretty much the protocol post World War II. I mean, I pity the goy too. I'm just saying that, like, you know, you're not supposed to be doing this. So that's supposed to be happening. It's misguided. You're incredibly misguided. It should never be happening, and you're gonna suffer the consequence of it. That's the way it is. Resist all you want. You're just resisting the maker. It's coming. Like, you think that a goy can't be like cruel or like fucking deceptive and, you know, like band together and be fucking like merciless? You think they can't do that? They can do it better than you. They just haven't figured it out yet. You're just better at like you're just better at taking it slow and easy and careful and not fucking up. They don't care about fucking up. They'll fuck up. They'll fuck up. They'll fucking spill the whole fucking milk. You know what I mean? You're gonna fucking find out. Yeah, I know. Luke says the socialist subversion is working better on young people than they have ever imagined. Yep, that's true. It's because they're following all of the rules of the maker. Are you talking, Mr. Magoo? Are you talking to me? You think that like I'm gonna? You think that like I'm controlling anything at all? I mean, what the fuck are you even talking about? You think that I fucking enjoy this show? I'm pretty much just like waiting to die, to get the fuck out of here. Oh, I see. Okay, you gotta put quotes on that bitch so that people know. You're fucking confuse everything. I mean, you know, I like that's not a negative thing. You know, I don't want to be around in the world that's planned for us. You know, it's like a all or nothing thing. It's not, you know, it's not acceptable, and so it's not something that I even want to like yield on to be a participant in. You know, this is all or nothing. There's no question, you know. It's not. So why fight? Are you talking to me particularly? Or are you talking about like humanity? Ban this concept. So why fight? Well, so what's really going? If you hadn't noticed, nobody's fighting right now. So I'm not fighting. Nobody's fighting. We're looking forward in the future to talk about like what's gonna come up, like what's gonna happen, right? So we're like I would not fight if it was my choice, right? But it's not gonna be my choice. Or do you mean resist? Do you mean like fight, like resist, like psychologically? Is that what you mean? Physically. Okay, I fight physically. Well, the so the so when you ask that, you're asking you're deducing your concept of fighting based off of everything that you've seen before. What's coming is not going to be like the last wars. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be because number one, your entire conception of warfare is based off of conflict that is contrived. That is funded, contrived. But the future war is a war of like it's going to be manifested because your creator is going to manifest it. It's not because like your creator has already written in what is going to happen and designed people and the way that they process their actuality. It makes it inevitable, and so you're going to have and then the people that are doing this are working the other way to apply pressure to get it to cook off. You see what I'm saying? And so the like your maker is doing this. It's not going to be people. So that's why people ultimately in the big picture, like that's why people are going to fight. Of course, people won't see it that way. People see it like their own personal interest and their own personal reasons, whatever they are, which are numerous and delusional. The like the aggregate of what really is happening is going to be a like it's a procedural thing. Does that make sense? And so it's important. That's why it's important for people to follow their sight of like what they see. And there's like some people are going to see things totally fucked up, and they're going to like go for it. And that's the way it is. There's nothing I'm going to say to them to stop them. The best thing that you could do is to capitalize off of the chaos and lack of control to try to give something to humanity that will be around afterwards. Because if you don't do that, then you just have to deal with whatever you leave behind at the conclusion. And if you put all of your effort into like total destruction of the world, then like that's what you're left with. And if you hadn't noticed, the controllers have made this world so that you don't have anything available to you except through them. And so the smart thing to do would be to as it's applicable, as it's possible, to move into a position to like provide things to humanity that they need that will last, not an exploitative commercial interest that is temporary and requires the constant tie-in to the control apparatus of like, are we compliant with the regulations? Are we funded? Are we gonna get that grant? Like none of that stuff. Just fucking backbreaking work to fucking provide something that lasts. More work than what they can like blow up. Like that's what humanity should have done the entire time. It makes no sense that it hasn't been done. Like, does that make sense? You know, like people are gonna fight. Like, it's gonna be fucking crazy. You know, I mean, I can't tell you what's right. If I told you like, well, you shouldn't fight. Well, you know, you could have like an entire crew of fucking heathens come to your house and like rape your children and wife. If you're not prepared to fight, then you're just gonna have to watch that happen. So if that's what you want, like if you want to spend your last moments on earth watching your wife and your children get raped, or like your grandma or whatever, you get a fucking bayonet pressed to their head or a hand grenade put in their fucking blouse or whatever, and watch them fucking splatter walls, then like go ahead and do that. But if you know like I can't tell you what's right. You certainly have the right to live. It's up to you. You know, I would imagine that you probably don't want to spend your last moments on Earth like that. All of this stuff about control with like governments having shit under control, it's a lie, and it is manifested from the it's manifested from the continuous injection of money that is the control line. What's going to happen is that people are going to lose so much faith in the lies of the system that they're going to entirely discard it. And when they do that in a different capacity, it's going to be different pockets of society at one time, you know, or throughout time. It's not all going to be like overnight, but you're just going to have elements of society break off. If I got 100K, I would just make a. If I got 100K, I would just make a giant. I'd probably buy a piece of land, plant trees, and then just make it a giant fucking free zone training grounds or whatever. You just come out there and camp and bring all your shit. That's probably what they'd do. Probably just make like an area where you could come out there and set up like tent housing or whatever, dig tunnels and be the Viet Cong. Just make a huge problem for the order of things. People are like, what? People are doing whatever they want? Oh. We have to put a bunch of resources into stopping that. Come on down. All right, you guys are like all over the place. What are you guys talking about? Have you ever looked into the details of some of the South American farm attacks? Yeah, sure. Man, what do you mean? It's a fucked up situation. The whole world is fucked up. It's because you dummies keep taking money. The reason the reason that there's a Rhodesia in the first place is because Cecil Rhodes. They have planned for farm attacks. Do I think space travel will benefit us? Not right now. I mean, you guys can't even fucking tie your shoes. Think you're gonna go like Kana somewhere else and have fun? You're not. It's gonna be a fucking disaster, just like it is here. By you guys, I mean all of us, like me included. Robot dogs? JTAX using robot dogs? see I mean the whole thing about, you know, like Boston Dynamics and all this shit, like like you get why it when you really step back and you look at the big picture, you begin, if you can step back and see the big picture, you will know if you're seeing the right thing. If it starts to make sense, why controlled opposition and controlled conflict is necessary. The reason why that's necessary is because the entire construction of the modern society, modern humanity, and the way that we build societies and the way that we take for granted the way that things are, like that's how it has to be. It's because it's entirely controlled. And so, and so to, and the way that it's controlled is by the disposition of funding. So it's like, while people are looking everywhere else except for exactly what the problem is, which is money, you know, they're unable to identify it. They overlook it and they blame everything else. And the reason why it's so important for that to maintain is because it's on a shoestring all the time, other than the bluff. Like the bluff, you throw everything down on the bluff. The bluff is that this is a robust society, like a robust construction of humanity, a robust thesis of how we should exist, where everything is centrally tied in. The reality is that what humanity is a bunch of pussies that keep buying the bluff over and over again. They could overturn it in a millisecond if they weren't giant pussies. And I don't mean like being cruel and evil and things like that. I mean they could literally just say like just be like no, and then it would just all it would completely crumble. And because they won't do that, not only will they not do that, they wait and reserve and then like wait to be told what to do. And they wait until it feels like the consensus is in their favor and they're like, yeah, everybody else feels the way that I do. Like we should fight them. This is the consensus opinion. And then there's another half of people that feel the same way. And then you get like, you know, and then somebody comes along and it's like, here's some money, let's fight. And then they fucking duke it out and then it just keeps going down the road. Like it doesn't have to be like this. It could be the multitude of other possibilities that the past, present, and future could be are more numerous than they are. The way that we're going is one way, and that's servitude. But it's because people can't understand this basic. I mean, they can't recognize it. They can't recognize it in real time, and that's because of money. You know, it's because of both the illusion of I need the money to survive to pay my bill and like live another day and buy the food. It's the illusion of money of like confirmation bias by you know like what you know setting your morality at like monetary value, like your ethic is set at monetary value. So something's like really expensive and you know more money equals more good, right? And that's how a lot of people view reality, you know, and that's plain to see everywhere. That's like plain to see in everything. You can see it everywhere. But the reality is what the reality is that the money is simply like your creation is produced all the time at a constant rate. You know, the reality is you're like the energy that you're paying an electric bill for. Everything is fucking electricity. Like there is no different. Everything is interchangeable. You know, like all these sciences that you have that are divided. Your chemicals can make electrical energy. Electrical energy can make chemicals. Chemical elements can change to other chemical elements. Like matter can change. It can't be created or destroyed. It just like changes. What it requires is action from you. You see what I'm saying? So like you could shape any world that you wanted and any possibility, and it's like you choose to just suck dick. You know what I mean? Like I can't think of anything better. Like that's humanity. You know what I mean? It's where we're at. The like electricity that you slave over. It could be you know. I mean, there's literally it's everywhere. You could pull power out of the fucking air. But that's not the prerogative of enslavement, and so you're, you know, that's not like offered to you. You'd have to make it. and people will have a problem with it. People will have a problem with you just like putting food everywhere. You could put food everywhere for everybody to eat, and then people could eat. You know, and it's not the prerogative because you're serving your own enslavement. Like all this money is fake. It's not a single dollar of it exists, not a penny of it exists. It's entirely fake. Thomas Jefferson wrote about how Hamilton, was under the banks, and Hamilton is like who really fucked the United States. Like if you really want to pin it all down, like historically for the United States, like Hamilton was the fucking whore that opened his legs for the fucking banks for the United States because of his personal interest. Thomas Jefferson, I mean, that's what the War of 1812 was about. It's about the expiration of the first bank of the United States. Because George Washington wrote about there's like historical accounts of when the bank comes to the United States and like George Washington gets pressured into signing its charter, but he signs it with an expiration, and then expires, and then you still got James Madison and Thomas Jefferson are still in that bitch. Like Washington's gone, he's out of it. The other boys, those old boys, they're still there, and then these are the people that we fought a revolution about. Like, we need to get them the fuck out of here. Like, don't sign their fucking. That's why you have a War of 1812. You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's the entire. I mean, if we're just talking about the Americans' perspective of people that have such a hard time understanding this, like your entire, like everything that you swear to, like if you wear a little flag on your shoulder or whatever, like most Americans don't even know this stuff. This is the I mean, this is like everything that makes your country what it is. And like people just piss on it. They don't accept it, they laugh at it. Like it's because of your weakness that we're in the shape that we're in. Because you're fucking weak. And it's not me like what is great is not me standing up and like stepping on your fucking neck and violating your rights and telling you you need to be free, fuck you. That's not what makes this great. What makes this great is when you wake up and you say, and you realize the reality of the situation. You realize that you had some founding fathers that only held this place together for like a very short time, and then it got fucking sold out. And it's when you're not willing to recognize that and actualize it in your current situation because it's not convenient, because you're like, I need the paycheck, I need the I don't want to be the odd man out. I want to be the only guy fighting the system. You're not the only guy fighting the system. It's fucking every human being that's breathing. You all need to get together and say it. That's why you have fucking social media, so you can't figure that out. So you have constant fucking poison pumped into your head. So you can't communicate with each other and figure out what the fuck is going on. This is all a game. If you all figured out what was going on, you're literally like the money doesn't exist. They're literally the only thing that has any value is you're working. Like you're putting your hands on shit. You're fucking making little doodads and sweating and shit. That's the only thing that's worth anything. The money comes out of fucking thin air. You're just whoring your entire lineage out for nothing. When you get $1, that's because they stole more energy from you than what you're getting back for the dollar. That's what that means. You're not keeping what your labor is. When the United States was first formed, particularly when people went out west, prior to the Industrial Revolution, it was a land grab. That's because in the War of 1812, and in the War of 1812, what was happening was that like the British, besides the bank, the British were coming in. It's not really the British, right? It's the merchants. The merchants, what they were doing was trading through Canada to circumvent the United States in trying to control its impingement of foreign commerce and mixing of foreign money with the United States to try to keep the influence of it away. And so the merchants went through Canada, and then they were coming down and bribing people to send goods up through Canada. And so the United States almost invaded Canada in 1812, and the British burned down the White House. The fucking all that they're doing is trying to impinge poison into the system. And the purpose of it was that they were getting ready for the Industrial Revolution, because when that happened, when the Industrial Revolution happened, they already had a slight Western expansion where you just had people coming out here and setting up like homesteads and providing everything for themselves. What does that mean? That means that they don't need anything. They don't need any fucking oil. They don't need any fucking banks. They don't need shit. They're growing everything themselves. They can trade amongst themselves. They don't need anything. Well, they fucking ran railroads through everything so they could ship you to the fucking East Coast, so that you could work in their factories. That's what happened. So then you left, like your old generations that built the places and were fine and didn't need anything at all. Their kids, as they expanded, right? They left and they just hopped on the fucking railroads that got built, and they went to the East Coast, and then they lost everything, and then they lost the farms. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened. Now all your shit gets made in China. It's a long process. This is what happened. So you just, like when you're saying like, I like money, I like having stuff, I like your product quality is dropping every day. You're getting shit. You're getting absolute shit. You're having not only that, the like China is being set up as a weapon against you right now, and every dollar that you spend just goes towards that. Every dollar that you spend goes into a slush fund that gets put into an NGO. Every time that you buy Patagonia directly funds Antifa. So you buy your Patagonian jacket and you feel like it's like really cool with the fucking logo and shit. You're simply taking your energy of the lesser extent through the dollar that you got paid, because your money is being robbed from you always. That's how it works when money gets printed out of thin air. Because you agree to work for $1 and it prints $2, and the next day they print 4, and you're still working for $1. And so every time that happens, obviously your value of your labor diminishes, right? Well, the realization of that, the shock of that when you get hyperinflation, goes all the way around the world, and that's what globalism is. Like you want to know why they want like hands across the world and globalism? It's because that makes the pool of the game of musical chairs as distended and long as possible, so that it's so far before the fucking bush whips you in the face that you're like, I don't even know what happened. I guess we're fucked up. I guess we need socialism. That's what it's for. That's all it is. They're sending it all the way around, because if you had 10 people in a village, one guy that printed the money, and it was supposed to be based off of something that was real, like, a weight of grain or something, whatever it is that you decide on your reserve, then it would make sense. And you would realize, if the dude that printed the money, if he just started printing like fucking 1,000 of the units that you were working all day for, and he printed 1,000 of them, just had them in his pocket, and then he started spinning it and trading it with stuff, and then started like getting blowjobs from your sister or whatever, because she thinks that it's still worth the wheat that you're harvesting in the field. That's the game that you're in. Like that's what you're doing, right? You get what I'm saying? So you're when you accept money, like when you think that you like nice things, you're losing your next generations. You're giving up your work. You're not keeping it. You're literally just giving it away, just giving it all away. And when you say that you want to support the system and that it's like the right thing, like you're vouching and signing off on giving away the future of the United States, and you're giving it away for everybody else, and you don't have the right to do that. And that's why we're going to fight. There's no option for the people of the United States to opt out of this. We've got communism coming out of our fucking ears, and there's no option to opt out. We still have to pay taxes. We still have to pretend like we're fucking voting. We still have to we have fucking shitty politicians that are just have fucking like cock in both of their ears from the fucking money source. That they're just prostitutes. I mean, it's absurd, and nobody wants to recognize it. And the only reason why is because they're thinking about money. That's it. All your money's gonna get burned. It's all gonna go away. It's gonna be worth nothing at all. You're gonna be left with exactly what you are and what you stand for. And right now, most of the United States are fools. I mean, not everybody. There's good people here, just like everywhere. But the people that are involved in the high velocity inundation of money, and its war and lust, I mean, that is it's folly. It's absolute folly. It's going to drop. Just like Rome isn't around. Rome was the most powerful place in the world. It's not around anymore. You can't go buy your fucking whatever it is, your rice burner with your spoiler on it with a fucking Roman coin. They're not going to accept it. At one time they would. The time's gone. And all that money that you're working for, it's going to be gone too. And you're going to be left with nothing. Just like the people that left their farms to go to the East Coast when they had something and then they didn't because they left it. They voluntarily left it. That's how it works. Hamilton said that human beings can be governed by force or by interest, meaning their financial captivation, their inundation, when they feel like they're in debt, when they feel like they're up to their neck and that they have to like strive and work in order to meet the debt. That's interest. It's their interest. Not like interest like I'm interested in butterflies or studying butterflies or whatever. Not that kind of interest. The interest of manipulation. That's what Hamilton said. The reason I know that is because that's what Thomas Jefferson said. He wrote it down before he died. They've been in here for a long time. They've been fucking shit up the whole time. People gotta wake up. They gotta realize it. Yeah, exactly. And now the farms that are left around, you know what? The farms in the United States. Somebody says that now people who did stay in the farms sold out their self-sufficiency, overstocking their land. Yeah, the farms that are still around right now are run by Bayer AG. That's where they get their their herbicides. That's where they get they're getting fucking subsidized equipment grants. They're growing monoculture like Frankenstein bean and fucking corn all over the United States. Most of it is for export. Most of the soy that's grown here, like when you hear a cheesy ass commercial on the radio, it's like, our farmers are our legacy. They are our rock and our backbone. Like they're sending their shit to China. They're sending soy to China. It's being like chemically processed into other things. That's it. You know why? Because when they send it to fucking China, the farmer doesn't have any control. There's no control over the markets. He's not in contact with a buyer. He goes through middlemen. An entire series of middlemen. Has no control whatsoever. Gets a subsidized John Deere equipment. Gets fucking Bayer AG that's from Germany. That used to be IG Farben that made fucking Zyklon B and fucking sarin gas. They're over here now doing fucking like raping your country. Nobody cares. They're too dumb to understand what's going on. Fucking, I mean, it's at some point it's like, you know, I mean, I guess it's just it's what it is. It's what we have to go through and learn. And it's going to be extreme. You're going to learn fucking hard as fuck. Just keep doubting what I'm saying. You've made it so well so far. Look what's happened so far. You keep listening and being a good boy. You fucking got simultaneous riots all across the United States. Nothing makes any sense. Obviously, your news is full of shit. You don't have a free press. They're trying to take away your guns. They're going to fucking get it because you're not changing anything. Keep doing what you're doing. See what happens. Keep pouring your heart out on fucking social media. Tell them everything they want to know. This is, you will eat the bugs, Goy. People will eat the fucking bugs. I'm gonna be fucking farming bugs for protein for animals. The guns taking away are a long ways away. Now, right now, what the gun control measures are just to set up the easy liquidation. That's for the liquidation phase. Take the vaccine bigot. You know they have race-based exemptions in fucking Cornell University for the fucking vaccine already. The vaccine's not even here yet. They've already set up racial exemption. Oh man, can you imagine once we're not sick anymore as humanity, like what people will think about this stuff? Like, I mean, absolute evil is this world. Evil and deceit and lies. You could never think of it this way. Think of it this way. For the Jews, you think God wants to come here? You think God wants to come out at all in this place that's been made? It's entirely personal gain and just lies in pursuit of personal gain. Never, never come down here like this. You have to have some serious fucking changes, and that's what's coming. It is funny. I mean, you have to think the Lord has such a quite a sense of humor with this whole thing. Dude glows. You fucking glow ban this account. You fucking glow. You glow more than anyone else in here. I mean, seriously, like think about how people are made and like their psychology and stuff. It's just fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I can't wait. I can't wait for the change. It's gonna be great. The changes. We're just like in a vacuum shit stasis right now. You don't have to have starvation. So he says dangerous, starving, tormenting freedom is greater than peaceful slavery. There's no peace, number one. So, it's very clear. I'm relating a lot of this stuff. I'm formatting my stuff for the Jews. 'Cause I'm always trying to get to the Jews. They're pretty stubborn, so they don't listen. But there is a very specific word that is shalom bein shalom, which is that'd be like those who talk about peace and pretend like there's peace when there's no peace. That's your maker's against you. It's pretty serious too. It's a pretty serious offense. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, come on. Yeah. That's the way they should be, right? Because it's not truth, right? There's a difference. Some people get confused. They think because the creator uses deception that that's like the way. Because it's like well, you could have this or this. Because of plurality, because of contrast, right? But it's not like that. It's not that way for us. I mean, it is that way for us in terms of our interface. It's not that way for us in terms of decision, right? Like in terms of consequence of decision. It's more of a design. It's more of a design artifact element. So, Dugan, you're getting the vaccine, right? Don't you care about the other people? Don't be selfish. I'll tell you what. I can't wait to put vaccine injection into both my testicles at the same time. No, I will be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there are like if my mailman is dying mid transition of like inserting the mail into my mailbox because of a horrible viral outbreak that is so contagious and airborne that is like killing people mid stride. I will not be following your mandates. Not only will I not be following your mandates, I will go to prison. I will fight. I will speak against the entire time. There's not gonna be any fucking. I may put on a mask, a gas mask every once in a while to go get some 2x4s. That's about it. That's pretty much my extent. Well, I can't. It's because I'm building up things that I think will be helpful to work against you later. It's worth it. So he says 1 million rights are less important than the Bill of Rights. Not 1 million, it's all lives. I mean, in the broad sense, there's errors in the Bill of Rights. It's not like it's like a perfect document or something. But there's some really broad, basic principles that are absolutely true. It's truth, right? It's not the Bill of Rights over a million lives. It's truth over a million lives. And it's not just a million lives. It's all lives. Don't you think? I mean, logically, right? Like if you live in a world where something else is more important than truth, then it's, you know, what is that? That's tyranny. Force vaccine. I don't think they're going to force vaccine. I think they're going to go the soft approach, the soft hard approach with economics. They're going to burn out. They're going to burn out all of their. It's just going to be escalation of force with the burnout of their resources. So the first resource is obviously money. Right now, people are basically like prostitutes. So it's going to be pretty effective when they put down economic restraint. I mean that's virtually how everything has happened. This change, like everything in the entire history of this country, but particularly as of late, control. Like, yeah, we got that gun control bill held back, but it's like AMX and fucking USPS, and it's all monetary. So they're gonna get whatever compliance they get, or it's gonna go through a long process of economic restriction, and that's why it's important for you to start making black market businesses. Because you can't, like most people aren't going to be able to stop using money. So what you have to do is you have to capitalize off of the, um, you know, not useless shit, right? Like you don't want to be selling like useless shit. You want to be selling like good shit that people really need and are willing to trade and buy for. And then you want to implement trade where you can. Like when you're good, when you're like, you're set and you have product that you're going to be distributing, and somebody else isn't set, like start working out, figuring out how to do trades. So you can get used to it, to trading efficiently, so that you're not like provide for yourself. So then later, when nobody has anything, you can do trade and provide people what they need, and also have what you need, and you don't have to learn on the fly. You see what I'm saying? It's important. It's important to have the transition between money, because they're going to take away money. So like if you go with cash the entire time, you're not going to supplement with any trade and start practicing trading so you can figure out what the fuck that's all about as a society. I mean, then you just got to do a cold reset with like now it's all digital. There's no more cash. Now you can't have your fucking black market business. You need to be able to transition when they do that. If you're like, for example, right? Like I burn wood, so I don't pay any heat for anything. What I do is I have to spend about probably like 3 weeks to 4 weeks total out of the year processing wood for my heat for the entire year, including like outdoor bonfires or fucking like cooking outdoors, shit like that. Smoking, I make charcoal for cooking meat. I make smoking chips, all that shit. Probably takes me out. It's probably about three, depending on how much I want to do. It's probably about 3 weeks straight of like work days, like equivalent of time of like processing wood for the entire year. But I don't pay a fucking thing. Now, the other benefit is that I don't have to, I can't have it taken away. So I can't have some slack jaw faggot come and tell me like, hey, you need to be compliant, and I'm going to take away your heat. I'm going to turn your heat off. You can't have some power company that doesn't have any testicles go like, well, we put the government's dick right in our mouth, and they told us to like we have to turn this off, and it turns out we don't have a choice, because number one, we don't have any balls or ethic, so we're not going to tell them no, and we love money, and so we're going to do what they say. So there goes your heat. You know, fall in line, bitch. They're not gonna be able to do that. They're gonna have to go straight to the rifles for me. They're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna try to see. Oh, he doesn't have any heat. Okay, wherever go shoot him, I guess. See what I mean? But then my neighbor sees that I get shot or whatever, and they go, that was fucked up, right? And then we can say it's not fucked up, and they'll be like, they're like, no, it wasn't fucked up. We have the authority. And my neighbor goes, hmm. You see what I'm saying? It's like a chain reaction, right? But you have to take steps to like start implementing it slowly because you don't want to do that shit overnight. Every little bit counts, right? Keep your fire going all night? Yeah. Okay. So the honest thing is about fires. You can't keep a fire going all night while you're awake. You can choke it, it's gonna go out. What I do, so I have a regular ass wood stove right now, and that's what I do. When it's cold, I burn it until I go to bed. Before I go to bed, I load it up and I choke it. And then when I wake up in the morning, I have another pile of wood to the side, right, that I grabbed the night before, and then I throw that on and then blast it, right, to heat the house. And you have that cold sleep period. If you want heat throughout the night, the secret is that you have to build. I mean, essentially, like for practical purposes, you need to build a masonry wood stove that uses the mass of aggregate in the form of brick and mortar that passes heat through it and then retains the heat in you know a thermodynamic capture to the material that releases less than like ambient air, and it acts like it's just like when you heat like you know, like the sun comes out on the beach and it'll like heat the sand and the sun will go down, it'll be nighttime, but like pockets of sand will still be like really hot because it like retains heat. It's the same principle, and that's how you do it. So you have a large enough mass that you connect your stove through. And so what that means is that typically how that looks is that you have your radiant heating, which would be like a normal stove where you're putting off heat from burning wood. Then you have, before it goes out of your flue, you would want to redirect it into basically like a gigantic, thick brick, sealed, room, basically, that's small, not like the size of a room, but like a hollow vessel made out of masonry that the heat passes through, just freely passes through. It's not going to come out of the brick, especially if you're worried about like carbon monoxide and shit like that. Like it's not going to come through your brick. But if if you put 2 layers on it, you'll definitely not get anything through your brick, and you're going to get like absolute heat retention. The bigger that you make it, the better. It's going to hold on to everything, and then you pass out of the roof. That's how you. It also makes your heating way more even. So like you make a fire, when your exit gases go out, your temps are going to be like, you're going to have like 100-degree, 150-degree temps when it exits. It's not going to be shit. You're going to have like real efficient retention of heat in your house. That's the secret. You want to know the secret? That's the secret. Yeah, stoves are great. I need to put one out here. I've got a pipe set up. I got some stainless steel welding wire, so I'm gonna start welding some stainless steel pipe. Get a heater going out here. I have to fucking clean this fucking place up first. Fucking disaster. This place has never been clean or anything. There's just stacks. The reason that this thing is so fucked up in here is because I've had no time since I've lived here to arrange anything. This is just all emergency storage. This is just like got here, unpack boxes, put them out, and I haven't had time to do it yet. I've been working on my fucking living quarters for like 2 years. Like I've been like literally plumbing the fucking place, adding electricity, putting in floors, like shit like that. Putting a fucking stove in there, like all that shit. I just haven't got to it yet. Although it's not an excuse because I am, a shit sandwich, so I'm sure I could have done better. No, that's not how a shop works. A shop should be, you know, you want to try to keep some command and control of your shop. This is like I'm not doing anything here. I'm sitting here drinking wine and dipping on the floor. That's what I use my shop for, and storing shit. Well, no, I mean, there's no. It's fun, you know. These streams are more like my therapy. So it's more of like probably like a selfish thing. But it's mostly because I see the onslaught of fucking tyranny coming, and it's like I just can't sit here and take it and not say anything. I try every person that I wake up is like one more target that is not me, that like buys everybody collectively a little bit more time, that makes the situation a little bit more unmanageable for the people that are trying to fucking enslave us. Yeah, group therapy. Yeah, we're just doing group therapy. It'll be. I hope that at some point I can get my shit together here, and I'll probably make a new channel that's for the music and shit and the demo videos, so that it's uh, easier to like find everything, so it's not intermixed with this stuff. You know what I mean? Because if somebody's just wanting to see music or whatever, and then there's like a music track, and then like 30 videos like this, like it's gonna get annoying and hard to find shit. So I'll probably make another channel. Yeah, I'm working on the music. I'm working on it. I'm not gonna give you any timeline because I'll just disappoint you. So I'm not gonna, but I will be releasing music. I can't tell you how quick it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be slow as fuck. I'm about a year right now. So I started working on an album a year ago. I've got about 20 songs. They're not all gonna be on the album. It's gonna be probably like 12 or 15, maybe probably more than 20. I probably have about 40 songs that are. But I'm gonna pick the ones that make sense, and start releasing them. I'm probably just doing one. What I really wanted to do is release an entire complete album. It's probably not gonna fucking happen. So I'm probably just gonna, be way too slow. So I'll probably just do like one song at a time, focus on one thing, put one foot in front of the other, and just hammer it out. As far as I can go, reasonably at least, with the circumstances. I mean, I don't know. This could be like, who knows what. They could come out and say like you have to, get a vaccine and go to the, city health office and suck their dick, to fucking use money or something like that. Well, that's gonna change shit a little bit because I'm not gonna have time to be doing. If that's the way it is, then I'm not gonna have time to do this shit. You know what I mean? So it's just really situationally dependent. And I'm like hopping through my ass, and I'm not saying that like I'm efficient or anything like that or I have my shit together. Okay, so I know I'm a soup sandwich. I'm just like I'm hopping through my ass just to live here and trying to do all this shit at the same time. You know what I mean? So I'm not very good at it, and that's why the music fucking takes forever. But I'm gonna try to make it good so that when I do release it, I want it to be good. I want it to be like leave a fucking impression. So the stock market, it's a fucking game. I don't know. What do you mean? I mean, crypto's a game too. I don't know what to tell you. I can tell you this. I can tell you that like ammunition, like if you would have taken all the money that you put in the stock market and you just bought like cases of fucking ammunition, you could have sold all that shit in a short period of time. You could have like quadrupled your money in like 5 years. Yeah, self-sufficiency is the like being able to produce stuff. I mean, the big one in like the immediacy is like like water, food so you don't starve, and fucking heat. After that, you get into like fuel. Fuel is like the cool part, you know what I mean? You don't have to do it in any kind of order. You just do whatever makes sense. Like somebody's probably like it's not convenient for them to do water and shit like that. They might be able to do like fuel production or something. Fuel production is huge. Fuel production is like if you start now figuring out pyrolysis and shit and like building yourself a rig to produce fuel, not only once you get it you can get it set up and then you're not gonna have to buy fuel anymore. Once the shit goes bad, you'll be able to fucking like if they cut off the gasoline, you can just fucking sell fuel. They'll have to send somebody out here to stop you. Well, if they cut off fuel, imagine how many other people are gonna be a bigger problem than you. You see what I'm saying? You can trade for, you know, people need fuel, they'll fucking give up guns and ammunition for it and trade. Or whatever, depending on how desperate they are. How are you keeping fuel from vanishing? What do you mean? Put it in a container that stops it from volatile gas release? Varnishing? What do you mean? You're talking about like gas? Like gasoline? If you're having any kind of turn in your fuel, it's because you have impurities. I mean, your fuel, all of your fuel is just it's the hydrocarbons. Yeah, don't buy ethanol. You don't want any ethanol. You don't want any ethanol at all. Oh yeah. Okay, so you're talking about like hygroscopic the hygroscopic. Yeah, it's because of impurities. I mean, what I would do is get an oil barrel, right? Like you can buy oil barrels for cheap, and then I would, you know, with a sealed opening on it, and then you put your fuel in that, and you keep 50 gallons a barrel. I mean, clean it, you know, clean it out best you can. You just spray hose and shit. It doesn't have to be real clean. Like if you buy like a hydraulic fluid barrel, let's say, like off of something that's just a one, you buy that shit for like $5 to $15. You get yourself a 50-gallon barrel, steel barrel with the lid on it. Put it on casters, right? Like, don't just set the shit on the ground and then fill it up or whatever. This shit's heavy as fuck. Unless you have a fork. You want to put it on casters so you can roll it around. Get yourself a pump to distribute it. It doesn't matter if you add like hydraulic oil or anything like that. If you're like removing most of it, you're fine. You're not gonna have any issue from how many barrels, as many barrels as you want. Mr. Ban, you can have as many barrels as you want, or you can have 0 barrels if you don't do it. Gasoline engines, I mean, gasoline in itself is sustainable if you make it. You make gasoline from trees. That's okay, John. I've worked for the government too. It's okay. Don't worry about it. All right. You guys have a good night. You guys have a good night. Keep your head up. This thing's gonna get really bad. Don't get, you know, you're your own worst enemy if you let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. All right. You got to be strong. I'm not gonna be here forever. Okay. Don't count on me. I'm not your leader. Don't put any faith in me. You got to put it in yourself. All right. Have a good night. I love you.